Hi everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel, and today I'm playing the demo for Shroudfall Cove. And the general premise of this game is that you moved out from your parents' home and you're trying to look for a new place, and you end up somewhere. I'm assuming Shroudfall Cove, and we have a whole bunch of different people that we're about to meet. And how exactly we get here, I'll leave to the story to tell us, but I'm very excited to check it out. This demo is coming out from Otome Jam 2024, so it's very exciting. I love a good demo because it gets me excited for new games. So anyways, without further ado, let me just get started. What's my name? I want to be Blue today. Blue. Let's see if I can turn down the music a little. Okay. The soft, cool breeze of the sea feels like heaven against my skin. I am in love with, like, a sea breeze, an ocean breeze. So, I totally get that. It has been a punishing summer so far, with heat waves rolling in and out every week and rain being scarcer than ever. Oh, not a drought. Even just going out to the corner store felt like an endurance test to see how far I could make it before turning back home and ordering something online instead. Ooh, that bad? That's no good. I hear the seagulls. Mom kept nagging at me, saying I've been lazy all summer. And sure, I can't say she's wrong, but who would be crazy enough to go jogging in that heat? Even the news advised against going out. But obviously, that wouldn't be good enough for Mom. Really? Honestly, if they put like a heat advisory out and, you don't need to be, like, some people obviously have to because work and other, like, life obligations, then stay cool, stay hydrated. But if it's advised and you don't need to go out, you don't go out if you can. That's dangerous. My thought here is either, I don't know how I want to play this. She can be really frustrating at times. I know she means well, but, then suggests indoor activities to do, I want to go with the first one. I wish she would just leave me alone. It's not like I'm even a teen anymore for her to fuss over. Although she used to be even more extreme back then. Oh. Beep. Oh, speak of the devil. I like this interface. Text interface, it's really nice. Honey, did you get there yet? Make sure to call me when you get to the cottage. Remember, it's just off the main road out of the village. You can't miss it. Love you, Mom. Beep. Actually, better just call me when you get there to make sure you're okay. I'll guide you through the phone. Love you, Mom. Beep. Did you eat the sandwiches I packed you? Remember, they're with tuna, so they can't sit out in the sun too long. I do love a tuna sandwich. You do mean well, but, gotta step back a bit, Distance is... Again, we've moved out from our parents' place. Our character has. And so distance generally is a good... it's a good thing. Love you, Mom. A fourth text, my girl. Talked to Dad and he says that he took the tuna sandwiches. By accident. We'll have to tell the doctors he's not keeping to the diet at all. You have the cucumber ones then. Make sure to eat them before they get soggy. Love you, Mom. Make sure to grab something from the local store on your way to the cottage. Nobody's been living there for a while, so there's no food in the fridge. Love you, Mom. Oh my god, girl, but 6 times? Make sure to look at the expiration date so they don't sell you the old stuff. And that's enough technology for today. Same here, girl. Ladies and gentlemen, please prepare to disembark. We'll be arriving at Shroudfall Cove in 10 minutes. Like your outfit, sir. Very fun. I glance over at the ferry boat captain, trying to figure out if he's expecting me to laugh. Besides me, there's nobody, absolutely no one else on board. That's funny. Whether that's because Shroudfall Cove does not see a lot of tourists, or because people don't usually take boats in the late evening, I'm uncertain. Still, I make sure to send him a quick smile before focusing back on the view in front of me. Oh, this is nice to see. It really is breathtaking. The water clearer than glass, waves gently crashing against the ship, and a lush paradise off in the distance. Whoever's in charge of Shroudfall Cove is really missing out on some tourist money. I know full well that my entire team would pay a pretty penny to get to be here right now. Can't blame them. I'm not even there yet, and I'm already getting into that vacation mode. How long are we off? I need to make the most out of my days off. Yeah, we're gonna make the most out of it. Okay. A walk on the beach during sunrise, bonfires under the starry night, locally grown produce, and simple country folk. I really can't believe Grammy just left all this to move to the city. Grammy's like, we gotta go. And I can't believe Mom never thought to move back again. Well, at least she didn't sell the cottage. Doubt she could have. It was Grammy's after all. She would have never forgiven herself if she did. I'm sure. Ah, there she is. Shroudfall Cove, our beauty. You look so friendly, sir. I guess once we're close enough to make out the village better. Beauty is an understatement. Look at those charming houses. And that beach. Personally, I'm not a runner, but I could see the vision. Perfect spot for jogging in the morning. I've never seen a more well-maintained beach in my life. The sand looks like it has been sifted, and the slight pink hue reminds me of that beach in Crete. I'm sure it's going to feel like heaven to step on it. And is that a cave on the far side? Oh, all right, calm down, Blue. You're not a kid anymore, but you're excited, and that's great. You're a working adult with an office job where you do serious business. You can do serious business and be excited about things. While there's a gorgeous beach just outside your house with a mysterious cave that would make for a great outdoor adventure in your new paradise home. How do the people here get anything done at all? Honestly, I'd be so distracted, but you know, I'm sure life has to go on a little bit. Or maybe, you know, you work hard, you play hard, or you work a bit, you play a lot. I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, squinting my eyes against the setting sun, I try to spot any villagers on the beach or in the water. But there's no one. Nobody having a barbecue. Nobody having one final swim before it gets dark. Hell, not even a couple taking a stroll along the waterline. Maybe there's an event in town? And those are supposed to be the guaranteed experiences in every resort village like this. Whoever runs this place must not care about profiting from tourism opportunities. But regardless of the seemingly not so active residents, this place still ranks high on the list of gorgeous homes for remote workers, which is just ideal for me. The ferry boat sways slightly as we finally dock. The captain makes sure the anchor is dropped and the boat is tied to the pier before offering me to help me with my bags. I tried my best to pack lightly, but I don't think anyone can anticipate how much stuff they really have until they move out of their parents' home at almost 30 years of age. There are shoes, clothes, hats, accessories, books, magazines, albums, blankets, of course, mugs, plates, and who knows what else crammed in just about any free space I could find, and then some. Normally, I would have just called up a moving agency to take care of this stuff, but turns out that Shroudfall Cove is on no one's list of acceptable destinations. So this was the next best thing. Well, it worked out for the most part, except for my old bedding, which I'll have to come back for eventually. I really hope Grammy at least left a mattress back at the cottage. Poor thing. Oh well. I think these are all of them, miss. The captain mumbles, slightly out of breath as he stretches. He looks to be around 50 years old, but still pretty strong for his age. Or at least in better shape than Dad. He almost threw his back out helping me carry all this stuff down the stairs. Looking through my backpack, I wade past the work laptop I stuffed inside and some of my sketchbooks in order to fish out my wallet. The ticket here was dirt cheap, so I should at least give him a good tip for helping me out. Nikos, you're finally back. I was worried the land had reeled you in. The captain chuckles awkwardly under his breath. From the corner of my eye, I see him push his cap back and scratch the top of his head before coughing. Now, Addie, I know I don't set foot here all too often, but the cove's my home. Still need to make money, though. Got a fish in a bigger pond, eh? Guess you could say that. Crap, that thing is really wedged deep down in here. I can feel a new pair of eyes looking at me. I didn't expect anyone else to be here at this hour, and my appearance really shows it. I should have at least made an effort to brush my hair after the wind messed it all up. Too late now. And it's not like I'm planning to impress anyone while I'm here. Who knows? Aha! There's the wallet. Sorry, it really was stuck in here and I had to look for it, so, Oh wow, that's a lot of luggage for just one person. I love your outfit. I love the greens and the pinks. Looks so good on you. Okay. You really don't take moving lightly, huh? And holy shit, this might just be the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in the world. I mean, stunning, truly. Addie. What? Don't tell me you don't like my wit, Nikos. I might just have to punish you. Even more, I don't know, I'm not laughing beautifully right now. Holy shit, even her laugh is beautiful. I only realize that I'm staring like a lunatic when the most gorgeous woman in the world looks back at me and smiles. Crap, now I get the expression, pick your jaw off the floor. Thankfully, she seems way too nice to remark on it. Instead, she puts out her hand. It takes me a couple of seconds to realize that she's asking me for a handshake. And just when I didn't think I could look more like a fool. Hi there, welcome, welcome. I'm Adewale, but my friends call me Addie. Addie, I should say. Ade. I'm assuming our little accents go like Adewale. But I love that name. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm the mayor of this little village. I'm Blue. I'm moving here today, starting today, which you probably already knew. Hey, don't be embarrassed. It's not bad to have a reminder sometimes. I guess that's a nice way of putting it. Sorry, it's been a bit of a long journey, and I guess I'm tired. No worries, I get it. Sometimes when I have to travel out of the village for a few days, I get exhausted just thinking about it. And then I can't wait to come back and just slip out of my skin and curl under the blankets and sleep off the fatigue. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wait, did she just say skin? Crap, I must be way more tired than I thought if if I'm starting to hear things now. Anyways, speaking of sleeping, I bet you're just dying to see the cottage. At the sound of the cottage, I can't help but perk up. Honestly, seeing the thing in photographs is one thing, but getting to explore it in person is another. It's only natural, I think, since Mom's been keeping it a secret for so long. Or rather, she claims she just forgot about it. That my expectations got a bit out of hand. It doesn't help that it's basically my lifeline since moving out is absolutely impossible due to the high rent in the city, and staying with my parents any longer is out of the question. I need my space, And I need to go one meeting without Mom barging in with laundry and asking me what I want to eat for lunch. Ooh. Mom, boundaries. You know, just because your child works at home. You know, meetings are meetings. Oh my gosh, I would be so... like, there needs to be an emergency happening to barge in on a meeting, you know? Or like, you know, something else. I mean, I'm sure it's well-intentioned, but that is something I can imagine being tired of dealing with. Okay, yes, it's very sweet for her to do this for me when I didn't ask her to, but that's part of the problem. Even if I want to complain, I feel like a moody teenager all over again. So, yeah, I can't help but be giddy when I'm given the chance to avoid that. You have no idea. I figured. It's really a gorgeous spot. If it wasn't so out of the way, I might have moved in there myself. I've only seen pictures of it, so I'll take your word for it. But, when you say out of the way... Yeah? Does that mean there's a lot of walking involved, or... I point vaguely at the bags that have been stacked on the dock, silently praying that it's not going to involve more than a few meters of walking at most. Ade merely glances over at the pile, still smiling. I don't think she ever stopped doing it since we met, before letting out another good-natured laugh. Don't worry, we'll help you out, won't we, Nikos? Probably hoping that he had been forgotten, Captain Nikos merely lets out a sigh as he bends to pick up my bags. Again. He grabs two before I rush over to assist him, stuffing my wallet back in my backpack. This is the second time he's helped me out with this stuff without complaining. I really need to figure out the proper amount to tip for situations like this. Now, that's what I call bending over to please our guest. Nikos is so tired. Sorry, Nikos. Okay, so that's Ade and Nikos. My gosh, it's nighttime. Don't worry my ass. Instead of saying that it's out of the way, Ade should have just told me to turn around and beg my parents to take me back in. It really would have been easier than trekking down an unpaved country road through this terrifying wilderness. Isn't the night air so nice, Blue? Bet you never got to have something like this in the city, right? Right. It's really nice. And cold. Nobody told me nights in the countryside could be so cold. Of all the things Mom kept warning me about, she really couldn't think to mention bringing an extra sweater on the way here. Isn't the one thing moms are supposed to always say when you're going out? I bring my extra sweater sometimes now. Even though it's summer, you never know. Those, ACs are cranked up to the max sometimes. And it's so serene and quiet too. None of that traffic and rush hour you hear about in the city. Actually, no one in the village even owns a car. Well, I guess Hiroki's saving up for a motorcycle, but that's not the same thing, right? Ade looks back at me with expectant eyes, hoping that I will find this neck of the woods just as charming as she apparently does, and I can't help but give her a big smile and a nod. It's surprisingly hard to disagree with her, even if my knees are screaming at my mind for forcing them to carry out this cruel and unusual punishment. Yes, I shouldn't have skipped leg day. I shouldn't have skipped leg day. I've been doing that a bit too often lately due to deadlines, and it's showing. Still, as much as I'm regretting packing so much stuff, I do have to agree with Ade. The place, although seemingly deserted, is incredibly beautiful. More so than the quiet village we passed through on the way here, though I don't think Ade would appreciate me saying so. She seems really excited to have me here, and I don't want to spoil her mood. It's generally not the best way to make friends, after all. And, well, it wouldn't really be the truth either. Although there's not much to the village, I can already see how involved the community must be. There was no litter anywhere on the streets. All the houses looked as if they were freshly painted, and the flower beds must surely have someone diligent looking after them. I've never seen flowers more beautiful in my life. Really, this place looks like it was plucked out from a fairy tale. We're gonna be excited about it. always wanted to live in a place like this. Even the people here are so welcoming. Just look at Ade and Nikos. Oh, also hope you don't mind, Blue, but I've taken the liberty to come in and clean up a bit yesterday. Oh, that's so nice. Ade adds cheerfully while swinging around two of my bags like they weigh nothing. Ade, you got that strength. You got that stamina. You working, you're running around. I love it. It's all that energy, you know? I can't help but stare at her in envy as I'm trying to drag mine down the muddy path without losing feeling in my arms. An attempt I'm failing at miserably. Even Captain Nico seems to be faring better than me, despite all the panting and muttering he's doing. At least he's not dropped them 3 times already. It's fine. I doubt I would have been able to do much cleaning straight away anyway. I only have a few days of PTO, and I was hoping to relax a bit before getting back to work. PTO? What's that? You know, PTO. Paid time off. Don't assume, you know. I've never heard of that before. Is it like a special vacation? Is that why you have to ask for it? I can't help but openly stare at her while she laughs it off. It seems inconceivable to me that a working adult would never heard the phrase before, let alone one in a position like hers. But maybe things work differently in villages. And also when you're the mayor of said village, you know? Although Captain Nikos doesn't seem to have much of a reaction either. I'll have to tell Dion and Hiroki about this. They'll find it absolutely fascinating. Would they? Is that what passes for fascinating around these parts? Probably mistaking my confusion for a curiosity, Ade suddenly falls into step with me as we walk. She has a graceful gait, if I'm honest, despite the rough terrain not being the most welcoming to high heels. Okay. A skill. I am terrible with high heels. I need to practice more. Hiroki is our school teacher, you know. And Dion is our doctor. Why did she sound unsure of that last part? They're really big fans of cities and city folk like you. Hiroki's a bit stiff at first, but once he warms up to you, you can't shake him off. And Dion's the funniest guy you'll meet. Routinely comes up with the best jokes I've ever heard. You're going to have a blast meeting them at the welcome party. A welcome party? A welcome party? You're new here, so we gotta have a welcome party for you. Don't worry, I have it all handled, so all you have to do is be prepared to be absolutely wowed. Oh, that's really nice. That is really nice of you. I can't wait to meet everyone. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to be a full-fledged member of Shroudfall Cove in no time. Isn't that right, Nikos? Captain Nikos coughs awkwardly from behind us. Ah, yes, well, I'm sure everyone is looking forward to meeting Miss Blue. Well said. She's going to be the talk of the village for months, I bet. Oh, for months. Months? I guess there are not many exciting things happening around here if my presence counts as an event. And probably not even that exciting, given Captain Nikos' hesitant response. Maybe that's for the best. It'd be pretty awkward to have people come over to the house just to gawk at me. That would speed up the socialization process, too. I barely start to ponder over this when suddenly I sense a sweet, light fragrance in the air. It reminds me of honey and peaches and summer mornings after a rainy night when I used to go camping with my parents. I can already feel my body being invigorated by the memory alone. The bags no longer feel as heavy as before, and my heart is racing with anticipation. We have to be close. Somehow, despite never having been here before, I can already sense it. It has to be Grammy's place, Mom's childhood home, my new home, Primrose Cottage. Ooh, that's a nice little name. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It looks older than in the pictures. More ramshackle, you could say. The roof has seen better days, and the small portico is in dire need of some maintenance in certain spots. Yet the hardwood walls remind me of Mom when she was just a little girl, perched on the sill of the window while the camera captured her thoughtful gaze raised towards the sky. She looked so carefree in that moment. Had I grown up in such a place, would I have learned to be as carefree as her? It might be my city girl heart hollering in delight that I finally have a place all to myself. It could be that the sea air has made me lightheaded enough to only see the best this house has to offer. It could even be that my initial expectations are low enough that this counts as a victory. Regardless of what it actually is, I can't help but dreamily imagine how much easier life is going to be here. In the small little village, in the small little cottage. I mean, honestly, I do have this I don't know how much of it's actually a dream. I do like the idea of like living in like in a cottage by the sea. So this would be great. The small little cottage I get to call my own. So, what do you think? It's beautiful, the perfect project, a great new start, all mine, like home already. Beautiful. Oh, like home already. Beautiful. Probably like home already. Like home already. Talk about settling in fast. But I'm glad to hear that. Finding your home can be hard sometimes, but when you do, you know it at first glance. At least, that's what a friend of mine said. Sure, I'm going to have to put in some real work in order to fix it up. Learn some carpentry and learn some of those DIY guides online, but that's a small price to pay for freedom. I'm going to give this place a hell of a makeover, even if I have to go out and chop the wood myself or make the paint from scratch. Well, after I look up how to do that online too. And get an axe. And some lessons in color theory. The place got you all choked up, huh? I get it. I felt the same way when I moved to Shroudfall Cove the first time. But hold off fainting just yet. I haven't told you the best part. The best part? There's more? I take it that you don't know about the flowers that grow around here. You mean now that you mention it? Yep, for such pretty things, they're really sturdy. If you're not careful, they can take over just about any building. But the cool thing about them is that they only truly bloom at night. And oh, they change colors. They change colors? Yep, nobody knows exactly why that is, but there's a legend that claims it's because they grew out of a woman's body. That? I don't know. I don't know. Either one of those options. Does it not sound true? I don't know. Come on. Where's your sense of wonder? Why not let your imagination bloom? It looks really nice. It's really a gorgeous sight. Every night they open up and follow the moon like sunflowers do when the sun is out. It's like they're trying to never lose sight of it. Then, all of a sudden, they turn this beautiful shade of red, just like roses. Only, well, less thorny. I can't explain why, but it's really soothing. I feel like the whole world is at peace when they bloom like that. You must really love them, huh? Yeah, honestly, I'm not ashamed to say they give me hope. We share a look, and even though I'm not sure I've ever felt as strongly about a flower as Ade does, her words inspire me a bit. There's something light and warm about her that makes me feel at ease, even when her sunny attitude should have probably tired me out by now. I only hope that when I finally see these flowers bloom, I'll feel just as awestruck as she does. Oh, my bad. I just realized I never told you what they're called, have I? They're the Lua Primrose. Guess your grandparents picked the perfect name for the cottage. Oh, that's nice. We're inside the cottage. All right, pajamas, check. Toothbrush, check. Toothpaste. Oh crap, did I forget toothpaste? Packing is not really my strong suit. You know, sometimes you forget a little thing or two. If I wanted to correctly stick weirdly shaped objects in a tight space, I would just play Tetris instead. Wait, no, that sounds wrong. Aha, there it is, stuck underneath some pots instead of being in the bag with toiletries. and the cap is off. Half of it is squeezed out onto the bottom of the bag, the sticky residue still smelling like fresh peppermint. I guess that's a plus for the brand. They're not kidding about that 24-hour freshness guarantee. Whatever. I'm just glad that the weather is nice tonight. I can sleep with the window open and let in all that fresh forest air. Ade said she cleaned up a bit around here, but we probably have different definitions of clean. Getting rid of spiders does not seem to be a shared deal for one, and I can't say I'm crazy about the snakes coming in and out as they please. Ade claims they're just trying to welcome me, but I have my doubts. Still, it was really kind of her and Nico's to help me carry everything inside, and to prepare matches for me as well. It looks pretty new, which makes it contrast with just about everything else in this place. The vintage style is cute though. Granted, it all still looks usable, just needs a bit of dusting, wiping down, and maybe a new coat of paint. And I can do that, I think. The heavy mahogany writing desk is a nice touch. It's much bigger than the little coffee table I had to rely on back home. The extra storage space makes it the perfect spot to store my sketchbooks and drawing pens. Not that I have used them in a while, since this new work project has kept me pretty busy. And can't I remember the last time I didn't have to do overtime this month? Saying no to my manager is hard. I know I can just refuse to take on those extra tasks, and that I probably should, but having him give me that passive-aggressive look is just too much. Actually, what I really need is a vacation. A long, long vacation on a nice beach. I didn't quite realize how exhausted I'd been until I finally got here and sat down to rest. I must have been catching my breath for at least 5 minutes, and even when I got up, I still felt lightheaded and weak. Even now, I'm feeling a bit faint, but I'm sure it's due to all the physical effort I put in today. So, yeah, a vacation right now would be great. But then I think of how much stuff costs, and suddenly the thought seems less than ideal. Well, at least before I stumbled across this gorgeous little retreat. People say that as you grow older, you get bored of the things that once made you excited. And in some ways, I guess that's true. I'm definitely less excited to use my card now than when I was a teenager, but I hope it won't be the case for Shroudfall Cove too. I would hate to look over at the beach one day and not feel the same thrill as I did the first time I saw it. Outside my window, the breeze is picking up ever so slightly. The leaves are blowing into the room, and I hear the tree branches shake against each other. In the distance, an owl, a live owl, starts hooting. Standing up, I make my way over to glance down at the flower garden Ade showed me earlier. From my pocket, I pull out the little ticket stub Captain Nikos gifted me before he left. He'd been oddly quiet when he was inside the house. But once I went to wave him and Ade off, he just stood outside the threshold fiddling with his jacket pockets. He then handed me the stub, saying that it was his personal policy to give it to anyone who rode the ferry boat for the first time. Claimed it was a luck thing. That his father had done this since he was young, and instead of me leaving him a tip, he would rather I hold on to the ticket. It was odd, that's sweet. It is a really pretty stub though. Ooh. Almost like a miniature postcard. The background, slightly faded, shows the pink sand of the beach against a sunny blue sky, while a handful of flowers frame the front of the picture. It's the same flowers that Ade told me about earlier. The Lua primrose. In the picture, the flowers are a snow-white, pristine color, just as they were earlier in the evening. Or so they seemed, as when I got closer to smell them, I could see small little veins, as thin as string, crawling over the petals. And all of them were this soft, faded red I cannot remember seeing before. It is beautiful, however, especially now at night when the moonlight seems to bring the color out even more. I've heard of bioluminescent algae, but not flowers. Still, Ade was right. They truly are a sight. Leaning against the frame, I consider taking a picture to keep as a memory. But as I move over to the writing desk where I left my phone, I start to worry that the glow might fade away by the time I return. I don't know how these flowers work yet. They might keep their color all night or for just a few moments, and it would be a shame to miss the experience just to get the photo. Besides, if it's a regular occurrence, I can come prepared with my phone next time. For now, I should just enjoy this cool breeze, these magical flowers, the distant hooting of the owls, and the strange noises downstairs. Wait. Noises? Whipping my head around, I strain my ears to make out the sounds. Those are some unusual noises, all right. What are they? Almost like two people whispering, in fact, who are both in my house in the middle of the nowhere at night, while I'm all alone. Shit. I suddenly remember Ade saying that the cottage has been left unattended for many years now. For some reason, it never seemed to occur to me that there might be some squatters who have taken over the place in the meantime, even though it should have. What do I do now? Call the police? Does this place even have a police department? Doesn't matter, it's still worth a try. Quietly, I make my way over to the writing desk and swipe my phone before retreating to the window. It's best to have an exit strategy just in case. And my phone has no signal. Oh, something crashed. Something crashes downstairs, then I hear a flurry of short, whispered exchanges before the wooden stairs start creaking. Shit, they're coming upstairs now. Focus, Blue, focus. I might have no idea who that is, but I know a thing or two about defending myself. And the first step is... we have a weapon. My eyes immediately land on my bag filled with cooking utensils that I haven't gotten to unpack yet. Yes, there has to be something good inside. A pan a la Rapunzel? Wait, I think I've seen a movie like this once. As I'm trying to desperately ignore the fact that this exact moment has the makings of a true crime documentary, I move closer to the door of the bedroom. Luckily, I had the good sense to close it after me when I came up, but right now all it does is make my blood pump faster. Sure, it's an extra layer of protection, but what happens when they open the door? Do I charge at them and hope to take them out with a swing or two? Or should I hide and surprise them? Or maybe hide altogether? Except there's no big enough place for me to fit. And the bed is too low to the ground to fit a whole adult under it. Damn it, Granny, why couldn't you burglar-proof the house before you left? No, you have to pay attention, Blue. Focus on the jiggling doorknob. Crap, the doorknob is jiggling. I should at least turn off the lights so they don't see me first. Alright, it's time I don't know. Take them by surprise. I can hide next to the door and attack when they come in. Pressing my back against the wall, I take a deep breath to steady myself. It's fine. I have the element of surprise. Whatever is outside that door right now has no chance against me. I hope. Just open it already. Who's this? I have no idea. Just open it already. I gulp. I can't see anything more but the slowly turning doorknob fading from view as the door opens with a creak. I wait for what feels like an eternity before I swing around and prepare myself to push through them. The moonlight is strong enough to illuminate the threshold so I can see the face of the intruders. I'm ready to yell, scream, kick, even bite my way out of this. Whatever it takes for me to survive this night. But as I stare into that slightly illuminated hallway, I feel the fight leave my body. It's dark. The kind of darkness that makes me think of nightmares and true evil. My throat grows dry, like a scream has been lodged inside it. I cannot see the beast, but I can hear its panting. Low and menacing, it echoes through my brain, deafening the sound of my heart. I read somewhere once that humans will freeze, fight, or flee any dangers they encounter. That our instinct to survive will kick in and force us to choose. Yet as I stand here, I cannot figure out which one I'm supposed to be experiencing. Who are you? It's like a veil has settled over me, and as I peer from behind, I see true terror watching me from the other side. Its golden eyes pierce through my body in the same ways I imagine its fangs will. I think it's a wolf, but I can't be sure. But it's bigger than what I could have imagined. And it's not alone either. Oh, two. Another pair of eyes is watching me from the abyss. Hungry, I imagine, for its next meal. It's a reptile, I think. A low, hissing noise sounds like it. But have snakes always been this huge? It's almost the size of a child. Yeah, they're about the same size from the looks of it. I want to cry right now, but what would it accomplish? It wouldn't stop these two monsters from attacking. It wouldn't keep them from ripping my neck open. I don't want to die here. I'm not sure what happens next, but it's almost like I can watch my body from outside, and I see myself opening my mouth, choking in a scream. Not that I could have heard it over my heartbeat as it thunders in my ears. And when did the room start spinning? Shit, the monsters. I don't want to startle them. Who knows how they'll respond? But I'll have to chase them outside. They can't be here. Shit, how do I do that? But before I can even think of a solution, the beast opens its maw and lets out the most piercing howl I've ever heard in my life. Then, my whole world goes dark. Ooh, interesting first night. Unexpected. My head hurts. I must have hit it pretty badly because it's throbbing. Except I don't remember doing so, or not so vividly. Actually, I can barely remember anything at all. I better not have gotten amnesia. Wait, no. People with amnesia wouldn't know they had amnesia, right? That's probably one of the things they would have forgotten. Eek. Think, Blue, think. Ooh, hello. Can you hear me? I'm assuming this is Ade. There were several sounds from downstairs, whimpering. Then something hit the ground. Voices whispering and a strange slithering sound, like a snake dragging himself across the floorboards. The stairs creaked. The doorknob was jiggling until it wasn't. Then the door opened and... Oh shit! That was a snake monster! The room starts spinning as I bolt upwards. The ground is trembling underneath me. Raising my hands to my head, I try to nurse the head-splitting migraine I feel coming on. Black spots start appearing at the corners of my eyes, and I can feel my stomach churning while bile rises up in my throat. I'm going to puke. Blue, finally rising from among the dead. I cringe at the loud voice next to me. The volume alone feels like they've taken a hammer to my head. I try to move further away from the source, but strong hands grab my shoulders and push me flat against what feels to be a mattress. Okay, no jokes for now, even if they're hilarious, and they are. Wow, you must have really hit your head hard when you fainted, didn't you? Who are you? Boo, that's hurtful. We just met this evening. Don't you remember? Wait, that voice, isn't it? I tentatively take a peek from behind my lashes and am greeted with what appears to be a slightly blurry Ade. She's standing over me, lips pursed as my vision starts adjusting. I can even spot a bead of perspiration trailing across her temple. All of her sunny disposition from before seems to have completely disappeared, and I can't blame her. I too would be pretty spooked if I found someone passed out alone in their house, except for some... monsters. Why did I have to shout? The head splitting migraine turns into a head pulverizing one, and I squirm further into the mattress. It's not very helpful with the pain, but whether it's because it's a dumb idea to move when I'm in such excruciating agony, or because Ade's fingers are digging into my shoulders, I'm not sure. Holy crap, she's strong. Her grip is like iron. If she applied any more pressure, I'm sure she would snap my bones like they were twigs. All right. Try to calm down. There are no monsters here, so you are fine. Just take a deep breath and relax. Relax? I just saw monsters. Okay, that's a bit rude. Not all night folk are dangerous like that. But it's your first time seeing someone transformed. so I guess I can overlook it. No one was gonna tell me any of this? Mom, you weren't gonna tell me any of this? Grandma? What the hell? Despite the torturous headache, I still managed to catch the slight annoyance in Ade's voice, which I find baffling because of all the emotions I had expected her to express. This was not it. Exasperation? Fine, whatever. Be exasperated because the first words I utter about are monsters. Worry? Well, it would be nice to be shown some, given that I apparently might have hit my head hard enough to get some brain damage. Hell, I would even take an amusement in this situation. Some amusement in this situation. But annoyance. And for what? Implying that monsters were about to eat me up? This I really do not understand. But before I have a chance to question her about it, I feel another wave of intense pain coursing through me. This time, the howl of pain I give frightens me so much that it momentarily distracts me. I want to ask Ade if she called for the supposed doctor of the village, but then I realize that the room I'm in doesn't look anything like one in a hospital. Where the hell am I? And who even brought me here? And why is no one calling the damn doctor? You've already met the damn doctor. That sounded painful. Dion said you might experience some discomfort when you wake up, but it looks to be more than just that. It fucking is. I feel like my skull is about to crack open any moment now and let the boiled insides of my brain spill over. Ooh. How can I be hot and cold at the same time? Maybe the bump you got when you fell down is accelerating the effects? I'll have to ask Dion to check. What effects? But first he said to give you something for the discomfort when you wake up. Hopefully it's strong enough to soothe you. Suddenly, the iron grip on my shoulders disappears, and with nothing pinning me down, I start to thrash around. Somewhere in the background, I hear drawers being opened and Ade's shoes clacking against the floorboards. I focus on that, trying to distract myself from the pain, but it's no use. Am I going to die here? All of a sudden, this left side of the mattress dips, and warm hands are pushing me on my back. Okay, Blue, you have to take this now, and you'll feel all better. At least, I think so. Dion was not very specific with the instructions. She raises my head slightly, and with her fingers, pries open my mouth. Without noticing, I've been grinding my teeth this whole time, but that poses no issue whatsoever to Ade, who merely forces them apart just enough to pour something down my throat. It's cold and strangely gelatinous, and has the same aroma I imagine peppermint ice cream would have if it had been eaten. Then puked out. Ooh, and refrozen again. The smell alone makes me want to gag, but before I can do so, Ade has pressed her hand against my mouth, forcing me to swallow the whole concoction down. She continues to keep it there to make sure I don't vomit, which I desperately want to do. What follows is what I can only describe as an eternity of agony, as my body is overcome with excruciating pain and the disgusting taste of whatever it was that Ade fed me. I'm not sure when, but I must have started crying at some point because I can feel tears trailing down my face. What is happening here? Oh. So maybe something happens when you come to this island? That's my one theory right now. And then all of a sudden, the pain stops. How is it? Feeling better? I slowly blink my eyes open, chasing away the remaining tears. I focus on a spot on the ceiling until I'm certain that the pain has completely disappeared. And it has. My head is clearer now than it has ever been, in fact. As intense as the headache felt, the sudden clarity eclipses it. Even my stomach has calmed down, no longer feeling the need to spill its guts. The foul taste of the concoction has disappeared as well, leaving behind only the aftertaste of peppermint, which adds to the refreshed mood I find myself in. Noticing this as well, probably, Ade removes her hand from my mouth and I take a few greedy gulps of air. Even the air feels fresher now. What the hell was that? I managed to mumble between gulps. To be honest, I have no idea. She smiles as she says this, her sunny disposition returning. Threading her fingers through my hair, she pushes a full few locks behind my ears. Her thumb wipes at the corner of my eye, getting rid of the last tears I threatening to spill over. It's something that Dion came up with, and he never bothers to explain what it is. He just tells me what to use it for, and hey, looks like it worked out just fine this time. This time? You sound pretty upset. I almost died. You force-fed me something strange. You force-fed me something strange, which ended up saving your life. Let's keep perspective in mind. But I guess that's not really an apology, huh? Sorry, Blue. That must have been awfully scary for a human who hasn't had contact with magic just yet. It was. I almost died, and... Magic? Did she just say magic? That can't be it. I must have misheard. I've been living among night folk for so long, I keep forgetting not everyone is used to it. Magic and now night folk, too. What on earth is Ade talking about? None of it makes sense at all. Is she playing some kind of trick on me? A stupid joke? It's not funny, Ade. Stop making these weird jokes. It's really not the time. What? Blue, I thought you liked my genius puns. This is an utter betrayal. I'm talking about the magic stuff, Ade. She blinks before focusing on my face. That's funny. Sorry about the whole not liking Ade's jokes, but it's really just like, what's happening here? After what feels like a few minutes of intense eye contact, she clears her throat. As Ade talks, her eyes sheepishly trail off, focusing instead on the spot right next to my head. That stuff isn't made up. What? That part is real. The one about magic and stuff. And nightfolk, who we do not call monsters because monsters is a pretty derogatory term, you know. Not all of us are bloodthirsty demons. Well, Otilia likes blood, but that does not mean you need to be afraid of her or anything. Trust me, she's not going to jump you. Well, mostly because she can't jump that well anymore. But don't tell her I said that. My head is spinning. I can't believe this. Any of this. It's ridiculous. Preposterous. Insane. Whatever adjective for unbelievable there is left. Yet, Ade looks so sincere that I find it hard not to believe her. This is horrifying because that means I now have to believe what she's saying about monsters. Magical beings existing and magic existing and who knows what else existing. I do not want to think about the what else existing. But then what do I do? And you don't even have to worry about danger here since everybody's really nice. Even Otilia, she's a sweetheart once you get to know her. I need to process this. I understand. It's quite the revelation. Take all the time you need. What am I even supposed to do now? Do I go back home? That would be the most logical answer, sure. My parents would take me in, no questions asked. But then where do I go from there? Am I just going to live in my childhood bedroom forever? With Mom and Dad constantly hovering over me, having an opinion about every single decision I take. I can't even find my own place. Rent prices are so high, even with a roommate or two, who would hardly allow me to put any money, which would hardly allow me to put any monies into savings, or even open a savings account in the first place. And honestly, besides the night folk problem, this place is perfect. It also has the night folk living here. And I have no idea what to do with that information. I'm so deep in thought I don't even notice Ade pulling the blanket off the corner of the bed and wrapping it around me until I feel soft cotton tickling my cheek. Oh well, it looks like you have a lot to think about, and I get it. Trust me, but I'm pretty sure Raga is going to be mad at me if I keep occupying his room any further. Sure, we could step out. Yes, and well, we are kinda late for the welcome party. Even with a thick blanket wrapped around me, I cannot stop the shiver going down my spine. Late? Late for what? So you see, after you and the kids bumped into each other... Kids? Yup, our Connor and Nidhi. Okay. Connor and Nidhi. They go just about everywhere together. Isn't that adorable? That is adorable. The point is that after you guys met and you scared the pants off of them, not literally, don't worry, they ran off to get me, which was the best course of action since I didn't exactly know you were coming here tonight. Nor that you would be, well, human? Yep, I thought it would make for a great surprise. I hope she can read the look of disbelief on my face loud and clear. But while I was getting busy getting you, they might have run off home to tell their parents. And they told other people, and now pretty much the whole village knows. Great. Great. Things are just getting better, I see. And now they all want to meet you. Look, Addie, I'm pretty exhausted right now. I have to think about it. And I get that, but, thing is, everyone's here for the village meeting. Yay? Just my luck. Okay, time to meet the village. 50 people, my goodness. Turns out Ade wasn't joking about everyone being here. I could spot around 50 people gathered in the somewhat small pub. The door to the room I was resting in opens right behind the counter, so I get quite a good look at the crowd. It does not help settle my racing heart as I take in the extra features everyone but me and Ade seem to sport. Horns, third eyes, feathers, scales, sharp teeth, this list simply goes on. The variety is astounding, and so are the panic thoughts rushing through my head as I think of the many ways I could end up being killed tonight. Somewhere in the back, I can even spot who I assume to be the two kids who snuck into my home. Mostly because they're only kids. They're the only kids. Oh, they're the only babies there? Me. Sorry. This is a lot of information. This is interesting. Okay. They're huddled against their parents' side, taking occasional peeks my way. Looks like the sudden fright they experience has all but worn off. An older woman who could be anywhere between 50 to 90 catches sight of us from her spot at the counter. Despite not being able to tell her age, I can easily see how impeccable her outfit is. If I wasn't such a bundle of nerves right now, I didn't know she was actually some kind of creature under that normal human facade, I wouldn't have been able to stop myself from sending a compliment her way. But as things are now, my best move is to stay quiet and follow Ade's lead. Speaking of, she seems to be doing the same thing as me, scoping out the room, eyes darted from one direction to another. Guess everyone else is waiting outside. There's more of them? They were not sure if they wanted to have a look at your little human or not. I was not expecting the woman from the counter to speak. Ooh, I love your outfit, ma'am. Her voice is much softer than I had anticipated, as if wrapped in velvet and silk, yet commanding all the same. She spares me a glance before her gaze focuses on Ade again. But I, for one, was most curious about what it was that you sought to hide from me, and frankly, I'm disappointed. You could have at least picked a better groomed human. Wow, what a rude woman. Is being callous with comments some sort of requirement to be nightfolk? Addie grimaces softly as she returns her gaze. Oh, this is Ottilia. Ottilia, I know Blue doesn't look her best right now, but she's been through a lot tonight. The old woman scoffs, and the sound is so loud to attract the attention of a few other people at the counter. When they see me, they turn around to nudge their neighbors who do the same, until the entire room is staring me down. Those death scenarios are getting more and more vivid, too. I see. Another excuse you feed us. How many more, Adewale, before we finally get the truth? And what is the truth supposed to be? That you brought a human among us without letting a single person know of it. I don't know. I mean, didn't we ask her didn't we ask her mom? How did that all work? Did mom talk to Ade? I don't know. A chorus of exclamations join in as people shout in agreement with the woman's words. Even I whip my head around to stare at Ade, struck by the fact that apparently the mystery was twofold. Although I'm aware that Ade is pretty much the only one who doesn't want me dead right now, probably, I can't help but wonder what was her plan in all this. And why did it have to be so stupid? Well, now, Attilia, you know that would have ruined the surprise. That was the wrong answer, Ade. The crowd falls silent, speechless from disbelief, I assume. From the right side of the room, I can hear someone start clapping. What a wonderful surprise, Ade. You truly outdid yourself this time. Who are you? I don't know. Were you from earlier? Am I supposed to do my slight British, not real British accent? The man who speaks looks to be around my age, with long teal hair tied in a low ponytail and glasses. I like how the hair matches the peach on the sweater. It's very nice. And I like the blue tie too. Ooh, also wearing blue hair tie. Oh, I love the design. How fun. His coat is white the way a doctor's supposed to be, and I immediately remember that Ade mentioned the village supposedly had a doctor. His kind eyes locked with mine for a second. I got flustered. The eyes, obviously, and I feel a strange flush rise up my neck. Am I blushing? I would. What the hell? You're a researcher? Okay, you're funny. I have been looking to expand my pool of human subjects for quite a while now, so this is wonderful. Shit, it's another loon. Oh, you have a mask on. Don't be ridiculous, Dion. She's not here to be your little test subject. Another voice chimes in, loud and aggravated, and seemingly belonging to a bird of all things. Well, thanks for sticking up for me. I know it must be rude, but I can't help but openly stare at his face, adorned with black and green feathers all around his eyes. His black leather jacket seems to fade into his neck for a moment, which I realize is made of feathers as well. She's clearly here to teach us more about human customs. Oh, that was the other voice, but whatever. They're both funny. Okay. Nope, wrong again, bird guy. I'm not to be a test subject or a human ambassador. However, it is concerning that they seem to think so, and that Ade isn't dispelling these notions herself. A human lecturer. I suppose that would have some value as well. Of course it would. And as a fellow teacher, I can tell you that there's nothing more noble than to dedicate your life to the pursuit of knowledge and to impart it. Enough, Hiroki. You are going on a tangent again. Birdman quickly shuts up, seemingly frustrated at being reprimanded like this. When he sits back down, he huffs and crosses his arms, missing the way in which his neighbors attempt to put some distance between them and him. I guess nobody else wants to incur Tolia's wrath by coming to his defense. Not to mention that speculations like this are entirely unnecessary, given that we can simply ask the human as to what her presence here might represent. I'm just here to get away from it all. You know, the city living, really tiring. I don't want to live at home with my parents. That's it. I've not gotten used to the sea of eyes, and I'm reminded of this as once again the room's attention is right back on me. Atilia's gaze is steely and measured, as if she's weighing my possible response, and I have to admit it scares me a little. Well then, what is it? For what reason have you chosen to move to this night folk dwelling? Atilia, before I had the chance to answer, Adele steps forward, putting an arm in front of me. Although I don't have a good view of her face, I can tell she's tense, shoulders stiff and voice stern. It doesn't sound like she's particularly keen on confrontations, and frankly, I can't blame her. Fights in this place, where everyone seems to have sharp claws and teeth, must be interesting, to say the least. You know very well why she's here. Why you are all here. Don't tell me you forgot why you founded this place. Do not lecture me on my history, child. I know better than anyone here what the founders' dreams and aspirations were. The work they put into making it a reality. The sacrifices they had to make. Her voice lowers threateningly as she says this. A chill passes through the pub and everybody but Ade shrinks away from Atilia's wrath. Instead, Ade stands tall and still as a statue. This has been planned long before you were even a speck of imagination. Yes, planned, but never acted upon. Grandpa and Grandma worked hard for this, but now I'm making their dream a reality by bringing Blue here. Isn't that what you've always wanted? It is, isn't it? So why are you so mad about? Because there are rules to follow even in such situations. Yes, you are correct. It is not the human's presence I have a problem with, but rather your complete disregard for anything resembling responsibility. Why on earth did you think that keeping such a secret from us was a good idea, Adewale? What did you hope to accomplish? Ade hesitates, her shoulders falling slightly. In this moment, she reminds me of a chastised child more than anything. It's weird to see her like this. If I knew how to help her, I would. But as things are, I don't think there's anything I could do. Whose voice is this? What do you mean, hope to accomplish, Odie? Hasn't Addie already pretty much succeeded? The way Otilia's head swivels back is horrifying. It was as if someone had broken her neck, just as quick and just as brutal. Yet besides the bones creaking, I can see she has been hardly affected. Except perhaps for the fact that her fury has suddenly grown tenfold. Is that so, Raja? And would you care to enlighten me to what this success entails, then? Who's Raja? Raga. Oh, you're a different character. Following your line of sight as best I could, I land upon the one person in this entire pub who seems most at ease. I like the oranges and greens, nice. Much like the doctor, he looks young, but there's something positively devilish about him that makes me stay alert. Whether it is his strange sharp ears or those pitch-black eyes, I am unsure, though it would be reasoned that it was most likely both of these things. Strangely enough, the reminder that I'm amongst monsters hits less harshly this time around, almost as if I'm getting used to this insanity. Upon Atilia's questioning, the man merely gives her an impish grin before shrugging his shoulders with a nonchalance that seems inappropriate given the circumstances. My, Odie, he just catching up to you. You might be starting to go senile already. Isn't it clear that our dearest Ade merely wanted to please your theatrical self? Where else could they have learned such subterfuge from its very own master? Insolent child. Otilia spits out before turning to face Ade and I again. And here I thought you had something of value to add. More fool for me for falling for such tricks. Laughter echoes in the room, but he's the only one daring to get enjoyment of this. Everyone else chooses to lower their gaze, hoping perhaps to disappear from Otilia's sight. Even the extremely tall woman with bovine features next to the window does so, despite queerly dwarfing everyone else in the room. That's how much fear Otilia strikes in these people. This is turning more into a domestic dispute than I anticipated, and I have no idea how to feel about it. I cannot help but imagine myself as a young child witnessing an argument at a friend's house whose parents were on the brink of divorce. He's right, Otilia. I really thought you would be pleased to see us making progress. Foolish child, testing my patience as such. The room falls into a tense silence which no one dares to break for a few moments. Even the impish man keeps quiet, at least until a glance to his right causes one of the children present to jump. Aw, baby. The boy, who couldn't be older than 9 or 10, sports 2 wolfish ears atop his head, shifts in his seat. Oh, is that the wolf from earlier? So adorable. It's as he's trying to break free of his mother's hug, but she's holding him far too tight for that to be possible. Instead, she turns to what I assume must be the boy's father, nudging him slightly. This must have been some kind of signal, for immediately he sits up with a booming voice. He addresses Addie directly from across the room. Well, that's all in good, but, well, what about the children? The crowd breaks into whispers at the mention of them, while I'm left utterly confused by his question. What about the children? Ade must have been thinking the same thing as me. What about them? Well, I don't believe it is improper. She scared our poor Connor straight into his grave. Excuse me? I have done no such thing. If anything, I was the one who was almost scared into my grave by 2 tiny hooligans breaking into my home. Look at him. He's still shaking like a leaf. The kid turns a deep shade of red and, failing to extract himself from his mother's grasp, hides his face against her shoulder. I almost feel sorry for him. Well, not really, now that I realize he must have been one of the 2 I saw in the hall earlier. A woman with scales running down her face and the eyes of a snake speaks next, patting the head of a young girl sitting next to her. Aw, cute. Also cute, these children are adorable. Unlike the boy, she merely scoffs, swatting her hand away. And our Nidhi, too. This is unacceptable. I wasn't scared. Connor was the crybaby. Oh, they're so cute. Nidhi, don't say that. She came home crying just a few hours ago. The woman continues to speak even as the little girl grabs her in the side of the stomach. It's not right for the human to scare our children like that, Ade. They might be human, yes, but there are certain manners even they must follow. Hold on, what are these people implying? That I set out to scare their children in my house? That because I'm human, I have no idea what manners are? That we humans are some sort of savages? As the whispering intensifies, I find out that that is indeed so. Okay, well, that's what, some parts of the human race like to think about other parts of the human race, so this is not completely, out there. It's unfortunate, though. But, it's the fear setting in. I heard that they're horrible guests, truth be told. One human took out an ancestor of mine's eye after killing his sheep. Mine lost all her savings because of a human thief who came for her hoard. I heard humans almost made the... Oh, this is a different voice. I heard humans almost made the entire vampire race extinct. I heard that they climb beanstalks and steal golden geese. What the... Goodness, yes, I heard they were thieves. What are you doing? I heard they drop houses on witches and steal their shoes too. Wait, I'm pretty sure that's... Incredible to think that these humans are so strong and cruel. I heard they wish to skin the young of other species and make clothes out of them. Okay, now I know for sure that's a movie. Is that true? I can't believe that, but if it's true... Enough! Complete silence. The whole crowd freezes, people glancing at each other apprehensively. Otilia doesn't even spare them a glance, her gaze immediately focusing on Raga, who merely offers her an angelic smile. Had I not heard him with my own ears, I never would have thought to suspect him of slander had he smiled at me this innocently, too. What? These are all things I have heard before. That guy, for sure, is dangerous. Otilia sighs, pressing her fingers against her temple. What a mess this has become. Raga! Yes? These are serious accusations you're bringing up. Is there even a grain of truth to them at all? There isn't. Is that so? Busted. Raga! You tricked us again. Do you have no shame at all, Faye? You say that, yet you're the one who falls for my tricks each time. Isn't that right, bird brain? How dare you! The crowd erupts into a flurry of arguments. Sides are taken, insults are flung, children's ears are covered. Ade sighs as well. However, instead of looking annoyed, she lets out a small smile. For the first time since the conversation started, she looks as if she's relaxed and back to her old self. Or at least what I know of her. As this night has proven, I clearly don't know anything about all this village or these people. But maybe I'd like to. It is such a strange world I have stumbled into, and frankly, I'm not sure if I'm quite safe yet. But for the time being, nobody seems to have the inclination to tear me apart. I'll take that as a good sign. Everyone, please, listen. At the sound of her voice, everyone quiets down again. Even Otilia, who has acted antagonistic all this time, merely watches Ade from under her lashes, chin resting on the back of her hand. I know that tonight has been less than ideal for many of you. But I want you to understand that whatever choices I made and will continue making are for the good of all of us here. Putting you in danger is the farthest thought from my mind, and I think you of all people can all attest to that, at least. So even though it might be a bit unconventional, I would like all of us to think of this night as the first step we're taking to deepen night folk human relationships. It is, after all, why we are all here, right? The crowd seems to unite as one all of a sudden. Faces clearing up and heads starting to nod. The apprehensive glances towards me do not fade, but I can already sense some of them turning into curiosity. To them, I must be some sort of oddity. Much like they are to me, I suppose. Exactly. That's why I want all of you to try and give Blue here a shot. As the very first human to move here, she'll have a lot of stuff to get adjusted to, and I would like us all to help her during that process. What does that mean for, like, her grandma and her mom? Are they not human? It might be hard at first, but I'm sure that if we all work together, we can do it. So, what do you guys say? For Shroudfall Cove? For Shroudfall Cove! Woo! Also, let me, put my charger. There's a buzz of adrenaline drifting through the air. Although the villagers now avoid my gaze, they seem completely spellbound by Addie. I can't blame them. She's truly shining as she speaks, her sunny disposition making every word sound like a beautiful promise of a brighter future. It is so captivating that even I get caught up in it for a second. Honestly, if Addie were to try and sell me the moon right now, I would have taken her up on that offer. That's how convincing she is. The crowd must think the same way. The tension, which has been heavy and thick until now, has finally broken, and I can see a weight lifting off of everyone's shoulders. Light, easy conversations start to float around as people fall into an old, familiar rhythm. I'm not sure how he manages it, but Raga seems to glide across the room as he makes his way behind the counter. Addie lets him pass, sending a quick smile before she slips out into the crowd. Anxious to be left behind and by myself, I give chase, brushing past Raga, who seems to be the bartender of this place. We barely touch shoulders, but he takes the opportunity to make eye contact and wink at me, okay, before turning towards the shelves full of alcohol. Okay, hi Raga. Bye. I would like to say the experience terrified me, but I think I'm all out of fear for tonight. Instead, a light feeling washes over me as I watch Ade work the crowd. In the corner, I spot the doctor and bird boy, Dion and Hiroki, deep in conversation, soon joined by Otilia, who has left her place at the counter for the first time tonight. They make for an odd trio, to tell the truth, also stern-looking and mysterious, yet slightly detached from everyone else. Music starts to play out of nowhere, and a few pairs start to form, swaying slightly in the middle of the room. The tall woman from before takes one glance at me before she heads for the door, followed by the parents of the two troublemaking children along with them. The boy looks to be fast asleep in his mother's arms, while the girl keeps looking back in the direction of Dion, Hiroki, and Otilia. There's people drinking and talking, sitting around the fireplace, munching on something that looks like beef jerky, but I'm not sure it is. They are telling jokes and smiling at each other, laughing as they settle into their everyday, mundane activities. Happy they can share this feeling of community, I assume. And also completely ignoring me. It's a bit lonely. It's strange. While I thought being completely ignored by these people would have been ideal, now that I'm actually put in the position of being a wallflower, I can't help but feel empty. They clearly know they belong here. They know it's their home. But I'm not sure it's mine. Some time must have passed before Ade comes to collect me. She's smiling, slightly unsure, but it's clear the conversations she's had with the people have lifted her spirits. That's good, I think. That's a good sign. Man, that was nerve-wracking, right? But we managed to pull through. Yeah, somehow you managed to save my hide. We did it. You deserve to be part of the credit, too. For what? I didn't do anything. For being such an adorable human, of course. Who would want to kick out a face like yours, after all? Smile? Thanks. Me? See, right there. There's a smile that could sink 1,000 ships. Ade, do you mind if I go home for the night? Don't you want to stay here and have fun with everyone? Glancing around the room, I gaze at the smiling faces around me before looking back at Ade. I think I'm feeling tired after everything and just need to rest. She seems to be thinking for a moment, brows furrowed and eyes roaming my face to possibly try to figure out if there's some underlying meaning to my words. To be honest, I'm not even sure if there's any deeper meaning to it. I just know that as things are right now, staying here further will accomplish nothing. Maybe Ade comes to the same conclusion, or maybe she doesn't, but she nods after a moment and gestures with her head towards the exit. Nobody stops us as we make our way out. Outside, the night air is chilly but fresh. I can smell the sea water from here, and hear the waves wash up on the beach. The owls have come back, softly hooting in the darkness of the forest, all outdone by the boisterous laughter from within the pub. It is a pleasant sort of noise. Casting one final look back, I see the building shrouded in darkness, except for the windows, which are brimming with soft, warm light from inside. Through the glass, I spot grinning faces all around the table. drinking and playing cards, the joy carrying through the silence of the forest. On our way back, neither of us can think of a single word to say. Okay, this is where I'm gonna stop because my voice is out. But that's so interesting so far. Hopefully, we'll get to learn more about Shroudfall Cove and everyone in it. But I'm gonna leave the outro pretty short. But please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!